Mosaic Fresh Stop is this Saturday from 10:30 to noon. Let's listen to what people are saying about Fresh Stop.
How does Fresh Stop relate to your faith?
Oh, man. I think that Jesus would just love the community here. I think that the idea of giving every single person access to the beautiful things that God has created, particularly delicious produce and fruit and so forth, I think that's just what Jesus wants.
But if you really look at the way that Christian communities lived at the time of Jesus, there's a lot that you can glean from that, from trying to look at that and trying to get a historical sense of the way that those communities operated that is very different from the way that we live now. The way we live now is very individualized. We drive in our cars by ourselves to everywhere. We just have systems that are very destructive of the planet and our bodies. And I think that that's not really what you saw in those early Christian communities. You saw a lot of mutual aid. You saw more simple living. And this gives us an opportunity both to have mutual aid within our church community, outside of our church community, so that we can all kind of be on an equal playing field. The sliding scale gives you an opportunity for us all to participate in the same activity, in the same way, with the same value as people. There's no handout. There's no sort of hierarchy amongst us. But we're still able to aid each other collectively. And the model is such that our local farmers, who really, they want to do something that's good for the world too. They're doing their best, and yet there's not necessarily a big enough market for it. So we're creating an opportunity for them to sell their produce. We're making it affordable for people who wouldn't necessarily be able to afford it, and we're doing it in such a way that we're all in it together. It's an equal playing field.
There is something at least spiritual, if not biblical, about taking really good care of your body and sort of, the notion that your body is a temple and this type of stuff, so that when you treat it respectfully and allow it to thrive, that is in some sense kind of part of all of our calling. And I also think I think again for me, I really sort of like that Fresh Stop is expanding access to that idea to the broader community, because I don't think that it is completely accessible right now. And so when you can kind of incorporate something that is usually a very individualized pursuit, buying food for your family, preparing food for your family, and make it a community endeavor.
In companionship, this all falls in line, I think, with the kingdom of God. Happiness and worry-freeness, which is what I always desire.
What's your favorite food that you've had at Fresh Stop?
Beets, and I love beets. The sweet potato greens I had never had before recently, and now I am suddenly in love with them. I think that there's a lot of things we've had that have been delicious, but what's been most exciting are things that I wouldn't normally try because you don't usually see them in the grocery store. But if you're trying to eat local produce, you're not going to eat very many bananas and avocados. You're going to have to substitute with other things that we can grow locally. And so I think rather than liking one particular food, what I've really liked is exposure to things that we don't get in the grocery store and are more unusual, but that support more of a local food economy.
Definitely the sweet potato leaves. I lived in Taiwan for a few years, but it was a few years ago, and I have not seen sweet potato leaves since then. So I'm really excited to be able. I had no idea that you guys would have them, and I'm really excited to take them home and have a little bit of a taste of this place that I used to live. And they actually prepared a little bit Taiwanese style, and it was like instant nostalgia when I ate them. So I'm really excited about that.
And it's just tasty. Reminds me of the old times in Arkansas when I see these delicious plums and these delicious peaches that I used to climb over fences and sneak and get. And now I can get those delicious plums without fear of retribution. It's great. I love it.
What do you like about Fresh Stop?
We have different produce each month, and some of it is completely new produce that I'm not familiar with, but I get to have recipes that help me learn how to cook it. And then another thing that I really like about our Fresh Stop here at Mosaic is the fact that we get to invite people from the community who may not otherwise be able to afford fresh produce and help them eat healthy as well.
If you aren't down here already, you should come down here to the Fresh Stop. I'm getting pretty good at cornhole, and I think I can bring a challenge, and the food's good, and fresh produce, and friends and family, so come on down.
So you have the social aspect of interacting with people from church or the community you might not otherwise see. So it's really a fun and special and family-friendly event. I would come to the next Fresh Stop.
It's a beautiful morning, it's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful crowd. Be sorry that you're not here, and hopefully you will be here the next time to enjoy these Saturdays with us.
If you would like to help with our Fresh Stop, please stop by at 9 a.m. See you then.